With pretty much every gaming convention in the near future canceled, I decided to go to one of those fancy, newfangled online conventions that I've been hearing so much about. It is hosted by Haunted PS1. You know that video I did talking about the rise of PS1 style horror games lately? Well, yeah, they hosted a convention and there's a ton of PS1 style horror games there. Being in the PS1 aesthetic, all of the convention booths are playing GIF trailers of the games that they're showing off, and they're super low quality, so I'm gonna try and make some opinions based on the very little amount of information I can see. There's a lot of games here, so I'm going to try to fly through these in a couple seconds each, so hold on to your pants. First up, we have A Place Forbidden. I'm seeing computers, desks, chairs, not too much else that I can make out. I'm guessing this is one of those office-themed horror games. Signalis, or Signalis. It's got anime characters talking. It could be a visual novel, or this could be very deceiving. The Lunar Effect. It's got a grandfather clock and puzzles. Wait a second, was that James from Silent Hill? Approaches. It's got radios and tech from the 70s, I'm guessing. Respite 2.0. The poster looks like a Christian game, and the game looks like a vaporwave Christian game. Tasty Ramen. This one doesn't really look like a horror game, but if it is, then I'm much more interested. Meaningless. Well, there's a bunch of walls in the color brown, so I'm gonna say it's another Backrooms game. Promesa. They got churches and some more churches. People are gonna say this is like Dark Souls just because it's got a lot of churches. Agony of a Dying MMO. This is like one of those MMOs that's not really an MMO, but sort of like an MMO, like .hack, if you know what that game is. Yeah, Brain You Later. They say I can get another pet friend, so I'm on board with it. Conscript. I already covered this game in my Haunted PS1 horror video. It's a war horror game and it's pixely. I don't know, what do you want from me? I'm not a games marketing person. Ultra Kill, more like Overkill, because I can't make out a single frame in this trailer. But in all seriousness, it looks sort of like Unreal Tournament, so I'm sure it'll be fun. The Third Shift. It's played on a Game Boy, but the Game Boy is not an emulator. It's an emulated Game Boy inside an emulator of an... I don't know where this is going. Be Not Afraid, aka Seraphim Horror Show. Despite all the graphics flashing on the screen and the super long title, I have no idea what's happening here. They got the real hearse from Coffin Mall? You know, everybody's favorite Coffin Mall? What, you guys haven't played Coffin Mall? I'm sorry if you made Coffin Mall, I'm sure it's a cool game. Start Survey 2. This is like Mars Rover horror game. I can actually tell what's happening by the trailer, so good job. Photogeist. This is like if Fatal Frame was a lot cuter. First Land, a game about ominous doorways. Corpus, a spooky haunted house game for spooky haunted house people. Morpheus 98, I was either expecting a Matrix game or some vaporwave influence in here, but I guess this took a completely different direction. Harmful, the second tape. It's got VHS shots. I don't know, there's like 2 frames in the whole trailer, so I can't really say much else about it. Retrace, this is one of those visual novelty games. Props for being able to make out the characters at this resolution. The Tower on the Borderland. Wait a second, is that Solid Snake? That's definitely Raiden. Mummy Sandbox. Everything looks like a terrible nightmare from a Windows 98 screensaver. Nice work. Sauna 2000. This looks like a game about walking through nature and talking to old people, which is probably not what the game is about at all. Lovely Hell Place. Or is this game Shatter? Or wait, is this a live action game? How many games are being shown off here? Fatum Batula. That sounds kind of Latin, but it looks like this takes place in Japan. Either way, it looks pretty trippy and cool. I can dig it. Ode to a Moon. I already covered this game before. You ride a train to Connecticut and trip balls. Missed Connection. This looks like a horror game about meeting somebody on Craigslist, which is kind of already a horror story in itself. Cellular Harvest. This one looks like Pokemon Snap if you were a bug. I make Saints. Look, PC Gamer had something to say about it. Listen to them, not me. I'm not really a game reviewer in the first place. Made-Aware High School. It's about a mysterious cursed high school where nobody has any eyes. Stars Die. It has planets in it and a black hole, so I'm gonna say this is probably an accurate game title. Revolver Phantasm. Wait a second, is that the Evangelion font? I think we know where this is going. Chasing Static. Looks like Pacific Northwest, Diner, Owls, Mystery. Yep, every game is secretly Twin Peaks. Retrovirus. Judging by the incredible amount of camera movement, this has to be a VR game. Oh man, I was promised an extra 30 minutes in the ball pit. Coffin Mall. A game about being run over. Yes, that's the entire trailer. Utopias. It looks like somebody took you to the most horrible depths of Second Life. It's creepy, weird, and kind of interesting. Paranoia Hell. I did a video on this one as well. It's about zombie cops, demons, and cleaning up things to find money. Go check it out. Still Ridge. This is one of those woodsy horror games. Honestly, who can fault them though? The woods is a great place for a horror game. RB Axolotl. This looks like an axolotl dating sim, but maybe it's secretly a horror game? I don't know, you'll have to find that out yourself. Veiled. They got Nosferatu in this game? Alright, you don't need to show me anymore. And that about wraps up my digital con coverage of EEK3 by Haunted PS1. I'm sorry to every developer whose game I completely butchered and told the audience nothing about. But if you guys found any of these games interesting, I recommend going to check them out. Otherwise, take a look at Haunted PS1 on Twitter or Discord. They got a pretty active community and games like this coming out all the time. Whether you like to make these games or play them or just watch videos about them, I don't know, go take a look. It's fun. I will see you all later.